All right, so this month is the month of completion. We've been kind of, obviously, we gear up to it, right, all year long, get into December, and then here we are, it's December. And it's been delightful. I don't know about anybody else, but I've really enjoyed colder weather, so maybe our Canadian friends haven't because they want it to be nice and warm, and I understand that. But for us that we're here and we endure this kind of, long drawn out heat, this has really been a blessing, I think. So, when I think about this idea of like things kind of coming together and the completion of things, we have projects that we do, and then there's like an end to it. There's books that we read, and then we come to the end of it. There's all of these things that we do, and it's almost like there's a finish line somewhere along the line, right? And but nothing's ever really done, is it? I have lots of kind of anecdotal things that I teach my clients, and one of the ones that I teach, Quentin always says, "You got to be careful, Mom. Maybe you might offend somebody with this, but I'm hoping that it lands okay with everybody." So I talk about like the difference between men and women in relationships. When they're in a relationship, oftentimes we have women. Now I'm going to use these terms, and this is coming from somebody who was a stay-at-home mom for 15 years. So women do dishes and men build fences. So what does that mean? So we have women do dishes. Dishes are never, ever, 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 ever done. They are never done. And doing dishes is this like enormous project if you do it properly, where it's like you have to scrape the food off. Sometimes you have to soak it, then you have to scrub it, and then you have to, you wash it, dry it, put it away. Then you have to clean the sink, you have to clean the counters, you have to sweep the floor, you have to clean the stovetop, right? That's actually doing the dishes. It's like it's whole process. And as soon as you're done, then somebody lovingly comes and puts a cup in the sink, and the whole thing starts all over again, right? And so it just never ever goes away. It just keeps going and going and going. Men build fences. And there's something in them where it's like they go out and they build a fence. They have their tool chest or bag, and they have their supplies, and they go and they build the fence. And when they're done with the fence, they're done with the fence. They don't have to go back out to the fence every day and put more paint on it. They don't have to go and make sure everything's okay with the fence. The fence is done, and they can walk away and go on to a different project, okay? Maybe once in a while they have to maintenance the fence, but it's not like the dishes. And so there tends to be a difference in the way that we even parent that way. So a dad will tend to say, no, why? Because I said so. And then a mom will tend to be like, no, why? Well, because you could get hurt, and there's like this big, huge, long explanation to things, right? And then even like in romance, it can be very much that way. Sometimes it's like there's still some like sweeping of the floors that needs to be done. And then they're like, but I built the fence and it's all good. We're going and we're moving on. So it's interesting how we navigate in the world sometimes based off of the proclivity that we have to our environment and the responsibilities that are bestowed upon us, if that makes sense. And so, is there anything that's ever complete? Is there anything that's ever done? Nothing's ever done. Nothing's ever complete. It's just like a transformation into something else, really, So, as we kind of tidy up this year of completion, and again, just in the case of like review, the reason why we coined this month the month of completion is because the whole year was the year of completion, because in numerology you take the numbers and you add them all up, and then whatever it comes to is the number, and then that number means completion. Number 9, 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. And so that's the year of completion. So we wanted December to really be like putting a bow on the last 9 years if you will. And just kind of like, oh, what does that look like? And then just kind of looking at it and seeing, even if we just go back to 2020. So we took over ZenLife in July of 2020. And that was a really bizarre time, you know? It was so strange. Chris and I always talk about, like, we went to a Greg Braden thing and everybody was talking about how horrible 2020 was. This was like in 21, maybe it was like midway end of 21, something like that. And we were just like, it was the best year of our life. You know, our businesses, like we got this place and his business did great. We got married. Like, it was like all these amazing things happened in 2020. And we really tried to stay completely unscathed from everything that happened. I mean, we were like in a really little isolated bubble. And my cardinal rule of never watching the news really paid off that time. So it was interesting. So when I go and I reflect back and like the things that have come and blossomed and where things have gone and the twists and the turns of where we're at, and then to kind of like land here and feel this space, it doesn't really feel complete at all. You know, it feels like maybe there was a part of my life where like the page is turning, but they're definitely, when I say complete, not complete, you know. And I don't think any of us are. I don't know what that means really, because even as we die, there's some sort of a transformation somewhere to something. So even if you're very nihilistic and you don't believe in anything at all, which is fine, everybody's got their own thing, it's fine, you're still going to transform into something. There's still something that's going to happen to you. So there is no just end and then that's it, right? Whether you become fertilizer or smoke in the air or a pile of cinders like my dad, you know, like it doesn't matter. Like you're turning into something. It's never done. There's another stage. There's another phase. So when we go into our meditation tonight, just kind of allowing ourselves to be in this space of like, okay, maybe I'm like done, quote unquote, with whatever that is, but whatever that is changing me and turning me into this new thing that's coming up. Because when we go into January, which is going to come like that, that's, spoiler alert, that's our theme for next year is beginnings, because it's the numerology numbers, they start all over again. So it goes into 11 or it goes into 10 and then it makes 10 and then it makes 1. So we start all over again. Okay. So let's go ahead and everybody just sit up nice and tall, since we're all highly educated meditators. I don't need to go through all of the this and that and la da 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 da. Everybody knows how to sit. And we can go ahead and shut the back lights off and then turn the lights in the front down a little bit. And then just allow yourself to settle so that you can feel this elongation of your spine from your root all the way up to the crown of your head. And then making sure that you're tucking your chin just slightly. And then having this really soft little smile on your face. And then just drop into your breathing. Be very aware of the inhale. And now your chest expands, the feeling in the back of your throat. And then your exhale and how everything just kind of like falls back into place. And then still feeling the feeling at the back of your throat. There's a beauty in being deliberate with your breath and focused on your breath. And at the same time, not forcing the breath. If you haven't done so already, attempt to bring your imaginary gaze point with your eyes closed to your third eye. Still just being with your breath. So do a scan of yourself. Feel from the top of your head. It's almost as if there's just a gentle ring that is going around from the crown of the head down. And let this magical ring loosen up your forehead so that there's no tightness in there, loosening up the four corners of your eyes. Loosening up your jaw and your tongue. Putting that nice little soft smile on your face. Tucking your chin slightly, pulling your shoulders back. All the way down to your seat and your legs. Still maintaining that breath. So allow yourself to just think of one person over the course of this year, just one person that you wish that you could like change the dynamic of the relationship a little bit. It doesn't have to be massive and it doesn't have to be weighty. It's just a little bit. You know, we've had a long year, January all the way through now till December. And there's so many people that drift into our life and drift out of our life. People that we think that are going to be in our life forever, and then people who you think maybe you're only going to know them for a little bit and they wind up sticking around forever. There's so many. There's family members that have different types of dynamics in our life. So just kind of picking out of that enormous plethora of humans that we've come into contact with in the last year. Just one that sticks out. And if we could do one thing differently today to change the dynamic of that interaction, one simple thing. And it could be the first word that could come to mind would be like patience, or maybe a little bit more respect, or quietness. And then I would encourage you to just focus on their image of them and just feel whatever that shift or that turn can be inside of you, to be more patient, to be more quiet, to be more respectful, whatever it is, okay? And then just hold on to that image and that feeling between the two of you with that, just that tiny tiny shift. Now you've felt the feeling for yourself, and I would encourage you to imagine or think about their disposition and notice if there's a difference. And then just focus on that, the difference in their disposition for the next few minutes. Okay, now that you've focused on their disposition and the shift in it, I want you to go back to yourself and just feel if there's a difference in how you feel about them or about yourself or anything. Just focus on just the feeling. Okay, you can break your hold of your concentration on that. And now just circle back to your breathing. And you can start to bring some more movement back into your body. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. So everything is our perception, everything. Everything is our come from. Everything is coming from us. It is all coming from us. So I've had people in my life that I've been angry at. Chris and I are doing this meditation right now, and it's a 21-day program, and we've done it a few times, and I've decided that I want to do each day within a week now. So now it's going to take us 21 weeks to fulfill it. And so the first day, or in our case right now, the first week, is about our precious human life and the fact that we're human and what that means for us to be able to have a life and what we do with our life, how we live our life, and the meaning that that draws for us, and what we contribute to the world. Then the second day is about the fact that we will die. And you have to say it. And it's kind of, I noticed the first time we went through the meditation, I didn't want to say it at all, because it's like you have to kind of repeat over and over again, today I may die. And I don't like that for some reason. It just felt really negative to me. But then the next 21 days when I went to go do it, I was like, oh, I'm seeing it very differently. And it didn't feel negative to me. It actually was really like, gave me this idea of like how I cling to certain things, and then I don't need to cling to certain things. And now this time around, as we've been kind of like dragging it out longer, there's been this whole thing of like, what would we clean up? Like, what would we clean up if we could clean things up? Do you know what I mean? Like, if this really was it, and like, what does that mean? Do we care enough to clean up the things that we think we need to clean up? Or we're so into like, we're right about everything that we don't think we need to clean anything up. Do you know what I mean? And and then what difference does it make if we clean things up or not, right? Like, and we just kind of have been really kind of thinking about that. And so I've been thinking about, just as we're talking about this completion of everything, and like these meditations that I kind of lead you guys through, and the different like things that I hope that people get out of it, and the energy work that we are actually doing in our meditation, because of the way that I facilitate these, the way I choose to facilitate these meditations. There are things that we're clearing and cleaning up for ourselves within these meditations, whether it's for ourselves or for other people, which in turn just winds up being for ourselves again. Do you know what I mean? So never a selfless moment. But Quinn's laughing because that's like been my mantra my whole life, right? Never a selfless moment. People will be like, oh, you're so nice. I'm like, yeah. There's always a little something in it for me, even if it's just a little karma payoff. There's something going on, but I, like we do the breathing in the person's suffering, right, and transmuting it, and then bringing it out to the light, and then bringing light into us, and then giving it to the person. All of these things are there are ways for us to clean up things, to do a little cleanup on things. This meditation is like, I just want to kind of clean some stuff up. Like, if there's something I want to clean up, what would it be? And it doesn't have to be huge, and you don't have to go out and do anything crazy. When you think about like, so in the 12-step program, there's like, you got to kind of make things right? But then sometimes like you go to your sponsor, you're like, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to do all these things. And your sponsor says, okay, like cool your jets. Like, you're not going to go and do that today. Like, you're not going to go and say you're sorry to everybody and expect everything to be okay. Like, just calm down and just be okay with where you're at. And that can be a start. And we can like slowly go and correct whatever it is that those wrongs are later. Not right now, and sometimes it's just the thought, and it's just the thought and the change. If I could change my way that I would perceive this situation or this person or the way that I interacted with them just a tiny bit, like it's like that 1 degree course correction, it'll take you completely in a different direction. So anyway, so that's my hope for everybody, okay, as we kind of like end up this year cleaning the things up that we need to clean up, so that when we go into next year, it's like fresh It's new. It's new. We're different. We don't need to change the past. Understand that, because there is no changing the past. We don't do that. There is no hanging on to the past. It's I'm here right now, and maybe these people or this person or this situation or whatever it is has been kind of a rub to me. If I change just a teensy weensy bit the next time, then I'll have a completely different experience. That's all you have to do. It doesn't have to be you cannot undo the past. It just doesn't matter. If you ever saw, like, it's Bill Murray, and I can't remember what movie it is, when he's in the camp with all the kids, and he's like, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't. We cannot change it. So we course correct here right now. That's it. That's all we got, okay? Alrighty, Spideys. This week we have kids yoga is on Saturday, and then Reiki share is right after that, and then right after that we have a drum making class, and I'm like super stoked about that. So we'll be making Native American drums and learning how to do that. So, and then making them and keeping them, not just like learning how to make them, but like we get to keep it too. So that's Saturday and Sunday. It's a 2-part course. And then there's more information for that on the website and the calendar. Quentin can get you signed up for it. She's got limited spaces. So if you want to do it, you need to sign up. Then, and that's one of those things, like, I don't know about anybody else, but the holiday season, I tend to find more things that I want for myself than I like wind up giving away to everybody else. Does that happen to everybody? So like you can set the intention that you're going to give this drum to somebody else, and then you just keep it. So it's fine. So undo all that good karma that we just generated. Then the following week is the hike, and that's at Javelina Canyon, and which is in South Mountain. And then in the evening is Japkar's gong. It's the solstice gong. And so that's that's our semi-annual cleanup of all the energy, clear. And then on Sunday, we have a little switch up on the thing. The calendar says Maria will be doing Qigong, breathwork, and art, and we have a little change. It's going to be Chris and Kay's. So it's going to be really cool, because Kay's really has a gift for like taking people through this like imaginal thing. And then, and he's a very good artist. And so Chris and Kay's are going to do their own kind of like variation of that. And Chris does Qigong all the time. So he's going to be taking you through some Qigong, and then with the imaginal and with the breath. And then you're going to be able to paint what you kind of experienced in that in that journey that you go through. So I'm really, really excited about that. And that's that following Sunday. So make sure you grab a calendar, because Bunty's coming for a New Year's blessing. We have a New Year's Eve burning, which Judy's going to do like a big thing out in the parking lot and burn a whole bunch of like all of our past garbage. So this is the year, man. We're getting rid of this crap. We're getting rid of it, man. This is it. So, what's that, Quentin?
I was saying you write down stuff and then you
Yep.
burn it. You bring stuff to
We're not burning physical.
No, we're not burning. We're like, no, we're writing it down and burning it. Yes. Yeah.
Stuff I can keep in my pocket.
Yeah. No, it'll be like a fire puja, because like in a fire puja, that's what you do. So in a fire puja, you write down the things that you want to get rid of, and you meditate on it, and then you throw it into the fire and you get rid of it. And so it's going to be in the same vein as that. Okay?
Right person's name, it has to be your relationship with them.
Yeah, the relationship to the person, not the person. All right, everybody. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you. Thank you.